best of 3. We are going to start off in the bottom right-hand side. Just give it a moment. StarCraft doesn't like to show up straight away. There it is. It was going to come eventually. It is going to be our Blue Protoss player representing Offside Gaming. It is Firefly.
And spawning over in the top left, the kind of wonder of the tournament so far, it is the Red Protoss, it is Lemon. And is he playing for a Team Warder? You know, you got that fancy overlay that I cannot see currently.
No, he's just got a big old Protoss symbol next to his name.
Oh, that's the way I like him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm very, very looking forward to see what he brings today. Because already, yeah, you saying he took down Nice, that's a big deal. Nice is not an easy opponent. We got to see him pretty much dismantle Haas yesterday, which was, I don't want to say expected, but, you know, he's definitely looking like a solid contender. One of the guys that could have went 3-0 in the group stage, but yeah, Lemon is here, and so far it's 4 Protosses that are all 2-0 in the Chinese region, so that's amazing, or rather the Asian region.
Yeah, no, it's all about Protoss in this region so far. Obviously, 2 Protoss will make playoffs. Again, for these guys, 2-0, you know, if you lose this, you still have 2 more best of 3s, where you only need to win 1 to get to the playoffs. Obviously, it's nice to get it done already, but this is far away from being the most important match these guys will ever play. A couple matches down the line, maybe they'll regret not winning this one, but there are second and third chances to be had after this today. So again, keep that in mind for our first couple matches. These guys are just playing for qualification, but it's still pretty chill. They have another couple days to make it there if they don't make it a day. I think that is fairly important to note.
Definitely is. Firefly kind of making a zealot here just in case he gets blocked in some way, but most likely will cancel it. I say that, but it's getting ridiculously close, and he's like, you know what? It's all right. I've got a zealot popping out at the perfect time. So just a different way of dealing with it. And gotta mention, he hasn't gone for 2 gate on the high ground. So he's doing a very different, definitely out of the regular openings, right? Like it's kind of like a low gate, 1 gate expand, but it's not at all. It's on the high ground.
This is becoming like the more normal way if you are going to fast expand, because even Max Backs has said, man, there's just too many ways they punish me for having a wall off now. So just take the gateway high ground. This is still greedy because you expand before you put down tech. So a lot of the time, the tech is one of those situations where you would get a Stargate, then expand. That's how MaxBack does it a lot. In this case, they're just going to expand straight away. And he's right too, because Lemon just sees it and says, okay, you know what? I'm also just going to expand straight away. So yes, I had an extra gateway, but I'm just going to put my expansion down anyways. I'll still have 2 gates to work with now. Then they're both going to go into the Twilight Council. And they're both building sentries, which is actually a real oddity for the Asia region. We have just not seen this so far. So actually getting to see some sentries is a real cool little difference for Asia. I mean, we've been seeing this in the other regions, sure, but yeah, for Asia, we've really actually been talking about and laughing about how they really refused to use sentries. So cool to see this new sentry coming up. Of course, it's just going to zap things down. It doesn't die as easily. And it will be really good for providing information, because you will see constant hallucinations throughout this game, as both players will have full info on what the opponent is up to.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that there's no adepts on the field. Like, normally in this region, it's like, oh, he's going 2 adepts, 4, maybe 6 with an oracle, like super risque play. But these guys, very respectful play, very much about finding out what the other guy's doing. And so far, there's not much in it. Like Lemon, even though he had the 2 gates earlier and went for that far more old school setup, he got his Nexus down just as fast, if not a little bit quicker. It's going to be the blink that's very, very similar between the 2 players. Firefly's the guy with less gates to work with right now, but doesn't mean that Lemon can actually do anything on this side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't have the numbers. He doesn't have the reinforcements. He still did put a lot of money into the Nexus. Firefly just drops down the 3rd base, man. Like, he is playing no chill at all. He's just going to go, go, go. I wonder if that's something which Lemon will try and do something about. Nope, he's just going to 3rd base too. Okay, we are just playing the most macro PvP we've ever seen.
Yeah, this is kind of refreshing in a way, right? Like, this is, you know, when you tune in to StarCraft and you're like, you know what? I've got like a good 20 minutes to burn. Like, I just want to play a nice macro game, not get cheesed. And this is absolutely that. Lemon throws down a Forge. Usually that's a sign of Protoss being like, all right, I'm not going to die to anything. Let's get the upgrades going. And he's right in doing that. We'll probably see it from Firefly as well. He's actually spamming out quite a few extra gateways now, probably thinking like, oh, I'm playing a bit greedy. But again, just full on scouting. He knows that he's safe doing it. And now he gets some adepts out on the field. In fact, that was Firefly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to have a couple of those just to poke about a little bit and try and find a little bit of info. And you have the charge and the +1 all coming up. Those couple of adepts continue to make their way to the upper left-hand side as well. So away they go as that robot facility comes in from both players. Nexus is going to be finishing. And again, we've got that charge starting up as well for Lemon right now. Again, that charge up and rolling for the moment.
Ooh, the adepts do sneak in despite there being a probe there watching the door, and already quite a few probes are falling. Nice little surround attempt here with the Stalkers, but still, that's a nice trade for Firefly, and that's exactly what he was looking for. Both players going very quickly into charge as well. I tell you what, the production tabs have been so symmetrical between these two, despite different routes to get here, but so similar.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, they really have just kind of, they've followed each other's footsteps, right? It might have not been the exact same way of expanding, but it's still a similar time. And now they're just going +1, charge. They are both getting the same tech at about the same time. A couple of probes go down here. Firefly does have a worker lead, so a slight edge in that regard. And the difference right now is also just that 4th base coming up. And there is a difference in gateway count as well. This is going to be going up to like 2 extra gateways a little bit sooner than Lemon. That's basically the difference of getting the Nexus later. So a little switch around there. Not sure if that's enough for Firefly to necessarily come across and do anything with. So I guess we'll see.
I can't see this game truly evolving into like the Disruptor Wars for a while. I think they're just going to go exceedingly ham on the gateway numbers, you know, like that. It became very, very popular when Hero kind of got back from the army, and it was like, okay, he loves gateways. We all love gateways. And now look at them both as well, moving out across the map in the same fashion, both arriving at roughly the same time. Charge has been revealed. Lemon's a little bit faster on the upgrades, and Firefly's the one getting... In fact, he's coming back home to deal with this.
Yeah, he's actually... Lemon's going to be able to get a bit of a surround on these Stalkers. These Stalkers are actually going to have to probably try and recall out of here. No, keep your Stalkers going. I mean, if you blink on top, you should get quite a few of these before the recall is successful. You can get rid of 1, 2... Yeah, only 3 Stalkers get away. That's actually a pretty darn good trade for Lemon, who is going to succeed from that. So Lemon going to be able to take down a whole chunk of stuff. And now, look at this. Work account lead for Lemon. Upgrade lead is slightly in his favor. He's going to get the Prism as well, so he denies further aggression. And Lemon's going to send it, man. This is looking good for him.
It's looking really good for him, man. Like, also his work account, he's been really good about the production. So even though he's lost more, he's got more as well. He's got more army available as well. Nice force fields out of Firefly here, just keeping the army at bay. But remember, he's also lost more battle units, and Lemon's just cranking out probes while doing this. And Firefly, he's getting behind in this game, and look at that. He just goes for that Immortal straight away.
Yeah, fights away from the super battery, right? So you can just get rid of the Immortal. It doesn't get healed up, makes it an effective trade. Now it's maybe a bit more questionable because the super battery is still active and you're going to start running into it. We warp in a bunch more Stalkers. Lemon, though, is just realizing, hey, I've got the advantage. Let's keep this up. If I keep trading, this is okay. Whoa, Firefly goes, decides he wants the Prism. He loses his next Immortal, though. Of course, he did blink into this, which means that he's then going to get chased down. He can get blinked upon. And this is actually still looking very good for Lemon, who continues to look good in the numbers. And Lemon just keeps on trading out. The Zealot hits the mineral line. A few probes starting to drop there. I mean, this is just great. I mean, he's up 20 workers, 20 army supply. He's got every lead he needs. And Lemon is absolutely killing it right now in this game number 1.
Yeah, look at the income from both these guys. By the way, I think one thing we've got to mention, Lemon has been on 2 gases this entire game. Just 2. He's not even mining properly from that one in his main. Okay, now he is. Okay, he's got extra gases on that final base, but they were added very, very late here. So really cool play out of him. So damn heavy on the minerals, and Firefly, I don't think he's got a chance in this game anymore.
No, I love that as well. Catching that depth, just making sure it's one less thing you have to worry about, one less bit of harassment to look at here. As Lemon continues to press on forwards, the Zealots will charge through. The Stalkers and the Immortals still trying to follow in as well. We do have our +2 attack upgrade. Is not far from finishing here from Firefly, so that's going to give him a little bit of something, but I mean, that's only equaling the upgrades. You know, Lemon already has that lead, and every fight that happens right now is with that lead as well. Let's just see the Stalkers pulling back over to the 3rd base, and a few probes transferring across to the 4th.
Look at this resources lost tab as well. Lemon's traded twice as well as his opponent here. I'm actually so impressed. This is my first real watching of Lemon, and everything he's done has been amazing, Wardy. I have loved the play out of him, and he's just absolutely dismantling Firefly, and that is not easy to do whatsoever. Holy damn, Lemon is here.
Welcome to the Lemonade stand, Ben. This is where we get hyped up for Lemon, because honestly, like, if he gets if he wins this, he's probably had one of the toughest routes to the playoffs out of everyone, and he's just done it no problem at all, you know? Like, nice, absolute contender, won Taiwan time after time after time, probably knocked Lemon out multiple times over in that region. Then he plays Oliveira. That needs no introduction. And if there is a player that's challenging, you know, the Asia region, it's either Sion or Firefly. Firefly, one of those guys, and he's now 1-0 up against him. The Lemon hype train is so freaking real. It's going to be Lemonade all weekend, man. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, that was real clean play out of him. Like, real clean. Smart, macro-centric, very much so. It was, like, all about getting the scout off as well with the sentry builds. I like how the game started off as well. He just goes for a 2-gate, and then it's like, you know what? Let's block. Let's get that Nexus down a little bit quicker. Let's play the same thing. But the greed for him, like, even though it looked fairly similar between both of them, his just never stopped until, like, he went for the 4 base, up to 70-odd probes, and then put on the pressure as well. And even though he took little bits of eco damage, it was like he always traded out a little bit better in terms of just pure value. And then he just had a bigger army, and just very smart play out of him. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been fun to cheer him on as we get into this game number 2. Just waiting for the players to get swapped about, and we'll be off and away into round 2 of this action. I'm going to Golden Aura. There's, of course, Mirror Matchup PvP. Mirror Matchup City for the foreseeable future here, unfortunately, in the Asia region, but that's just how it is today. All the winners and all the losers are all Protoss. Zerg and Protoss the losers. I think all the Terrans are in the middle of the group, so that's where it has all been, as we just are taking a sec to get everything swapped around, but we should not be too much longer. We can head on into game number 2, as, yeah, Golden Aura is going to be the map. Get this underway.
Absolutely. And at the end of all that as well, Firefly, or rather Lemon, was taking his 5th base as well, not slowing down.
Yeah.
I think he was up to 12, maybe 14 gates at the end there, plus 3 on the way. Just really, really cool. I'm genuinely curious what Firefly is going to bring in this next game against Lemon, because in that game of just kind of, I want to call it like gentlemanly play between them, Lemon just outclassed him.
Oh yeah, no, Lemon was popping, man. He looked good as we get ready to go into Golden Aura. We're gonna get this sent PvP time. Let's see what Lemon brings, man. Like, I mean, this is a very stunning game. They matched each other every step of the way. They just both went into that macro game, and then, like you said, Lemon just got the better trades, made the better moves, and he is now going to be sitting in the bottom right-hand side of the map with the 1-0 lead. This is the red Protoss player, Lemon.
And spawning over in the top left is the Chinese Protoss. It is Firefly. Both Chinese, I suppose, eh?
Lemon's Taiwanese, no?
Taiwanese, sick!
I'm 99% sure about this. I will just double check.
I mean, for a while, I was like, Miyamika?
Yeah, Taiwanese.
Hong Kong. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, when you, like, whenever I cast this region, and I'm like, oh, where's this guy from? Like, I always kind of expect, like, my first thought is Chinese, but then it's like, holy shit, this region is definitely producing a lot of good players.
To be fair, Asia has been very China-dominated since it kind of became, like, the mix of all the regions, right? Because we also used to have, like, I mean, we would expect to, like, have Nice and Haas, like, do very well when Asia merged. But then actually, Nice and Haas have not had the best results in this region. They've struggled to make playoffs. They've struggled to make top 4s. So in that regard, yeah, this has been, like, the China-heavy region. So when you see another new guy kind of coming up, you probably do, like, think, yeah, Chinese. Yeah, Lemon played in the Taiwanese region for a long time. That's why I was saying, you know, he got beat up by Nice a whole bunch, probably Haas a whole bunch. He used to play Terran, now he's playing Protoss, and now he's about to be moving on to the playoffs of Asia. It's amazing.
There was like there was another good Protoss from, I think, Taiwan for a while that was like up and coming. I can't remember his name for the life of me. It was like Where We Were or something.
Oh, But Always?
But Always, thank you.
He played in the he was a Taiwanese player that was living in Australia, I think. So he played in the Oceanic region, and he actually had some success there. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit of success. I remember. I think he beat Risky, and that's why his name really fits me. Beating Pidgey, you know, of all people.
Beating good old Pidgey, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, this game, by the way, doesn't look like either one's going for the fastest expand in the world, and far more regular mirror openings, I suppose. We do have the sentry very early on for Lemon, meaning he will get those scouts after this probe does fall. Or rather, in fact, yeah, Lemon. I got so confused with the production tab. It was kind of flipped for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can control
You know, like
X
the
it.
red. What, really?
Control X will flip it.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wardy, saving my life.
It makes it so I know I can't do it with mirror matchups, man. In like World Team League, they never flip it. Same in GSL, right? They never flip it. I'm like, oh my god, like if it's a mirror match, I get so confused because I'm so tuned into like the top player on the map being the top player on the production tab and the scoreboard and stuff. So yeah, it's it's wild how your brain works in that regard.
Alrighty, shield battery done in pretty damn good time here, so Lemon will be able to hold this. His expansion is a little bit... Oh my goodness. I mean, this is Lemon playing good, but it's also Firefly. Like, you shouldn't ever lose a Stalker to the Stalker in a couple of centuries, right? Like, that was definitely a bit of a misplay there. Twilight Council for both of them, but Lemon just a bit faster on most of the stuff. Firefly did follow up with some sentries back at home, so he will be able to get continual scout information as well.
I was just looking at the history of Lemon a little bit, like his tournament history and stuff. Like, he's never really had a huge result. The best result ever was 2019 WCS qualifiers. He got second place. He was playing Zerg back then, so I remember him playing like a lot of Terran for the past few years, like in the DreamHack regionals, but he was playing Zerg back there. Lost out at Haas. I mean, kind of crazy. This guy is just seemingly good enough at all three races and currently just grooving with Protoss to go on and run like this. So yeah, really sick. Fascinating play to kind of read up on, and you know, I've been kind of getting on the hype train, and you know, like I said, I recognize the name. I knew he used to play a different race and stuff, but like to really like look back and be like, well, what has he done? And be like, this is kind of it. Like, this is his run at the moment. Pretty sick to see.
I always like when players switch race, and it's like, you know, we had a Classic that was initially a Terran, switched to Protoss, won a GSL. We had Neeb, was a Terran, didn't do much, but then switched to Protoss, wins 3 WCSs in a row in Kesper Cup. And you know, there's usually one common underlier of all these things. When they get to Protoss, they stick with it. They do really well. What about that, Wardy? What do you feel about that?
Protoss, man, it's a good race to switch to.
Yeah, it's a good race.
You know what? It's
to,
because it's such a complex race, but if you get the foundations from the other races down, making that switch is so much easier, you know? So clearly that's it.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Like, for me personally, when I was going to poop talk a little bit more, but then I was like, nah, I won't do it. I know there's Protossers in the chat that are watching and enjoying and stuff, but no, the way that Lemon's just been playing, it's just been smart. It's been clean. He's made it look simple as well. This game, he does have pretty much double the amount of Stalkers here. They're both moving and grooving in the same kind of way. Lemon's Forge is a bit later this game, but you see that he's getting a big lead on the Stalker, and this is actually very scary for Firefly, and oh no.
He blinked as well already. Yeah, he blinked to get over here, so he's actually already got cooldown on blink, and Lemon chases. He might be able to blink up and actually get another kill there. He decides to split his units apart. He's going to that bottom left tower. Very interesting, because I actually feel like right now, Lemon just killed a bunch of stuff. If he just sent it with everything, he'd be in a pretty good spot. I mean, he's going to back away right now. He's, again, just left so many Stalkers bottom left. He does catch these Adepts, but I actually think he's missing the chance to do some serious damage by chasing this down. So, yes, nice to get rid of the Adepts, but maybe an opportunity missed. Either way, Lemon definitely benefiting. And once again, Army Supply lead, Worker lead, extra gates coming up, Prism in charge, all on the way. Gotta love where Lemon is taking this. It's starting to look very similar to the last game, honestly.
You're right that he could have potentially, you know, done a mortally wounding blow, but getting rid of those Adepts when, in his mind, he does have a lead already, not a bad choice, is it? It was like he had 2 okay choices to make, and he went for one, and he saved himself from taking damage, and he's really exploding behind this. The work count's very similar between them, but that resources lost tab does not lie. 50 resources lost for Lemon, 1,075 for Firefly in a PvP. Like, that shouldn't happen, and it's been a lot of unforced errors out of Firefly here, and now Lemon's moving out across the map. And you got to remember, he used those hallucinations on the Stalkers as well, and there was no obs there to really know what was going on with that, so but Lemon's just been playing smart, I think. Oh my goodness, big blink right into the Immortal here, getting one down straight away. The other one's not long to live in this world either. Luminek.
Yep. It's gonna be a pretty decent fight for Lemon, who's just gonna sit on this low ground, deny this fourth base, just looking to utilize this Army Supply lead. Finishes up his upgrade, which was the one thing he was a little slower on. as he's actually just going to take down the sentry, so you could run up this ramp too if he wants. There would be moving into shield battery there, which is going to overcharge, but he's going to target that down because Lemon just knows he's got the advantage, and Firefly is putting up 0 resistance. Just going to be seeing that pylon canceling the warp in. Zealots are here for Lemon, and Lemon is about a 2-0 Firefly to move on through, which is kind of just a little bit bonkers. We have the Stalkers continue to go after a couple more of those probes. Another Zealot going down. I mean, the reinforcements of Firefly are just warping in and walking straight into trouble here as we blink forward on top of the Stalkers. Even the Observer going down. Lemon is going to absolutely crush in this series. He looked like the player he was meant to be like the absolute favorite. Like the other guy was never meant to stand a chance. And this Firefly is one of the best players in this region. Lemon has just absolutely dunked on him.
He really has. Like, the way that he's played also, like, this isn't a Giga all-in from him. Look, back at home, he's on 63 probes, he's still probing up, he's on 4 bases. GG. He made that look so simple against a really, really legitimate player